For my Jewish history project, I'm interviewing my grandfather, Stanford Steppa, about being a Jew growing up in America.
My father is from, my father and mother came from Russia. They, my father fought in the First World War and got shot in the hand, and he was quite a proud man. Well, my father came to this country not speaking English, and he went to work for a watermelon man in the southeast market. Bortnick was their name, and my father sold watermelons on the sidewalk to people that came by and wanted watermelons, and he loaded them up and sent them on their way. And with that, he then saved up enough money and bought his first store in southeast Washington. We all lived together at 4th and East Street Southeast, above the store. When I first went to school, my parents spoke Yiddish, and when they didn't want me, because I understood Yiddish, because that's all I spoke, the only language that I didn't understand was Russian. And they spoke Russian to each other so that I wouldn't understand on certain matters. So there we go.
How did you end up learning English?
In school, I used to play outside with the neighbors, and they lived around the corner, and that's when I first learned how to shoot marbles.
Was it hard to learn English? No.
English was never a problem because I just moved right in and just played with them and just played with their friends.
What was it like being Jewish during the Holocaust?
Jewish during the Holocaust? Well, first of all, I didn't really understand the Holocaust when I was a little fellow. I mean, I was just very young, and we practiced air raids, hiding under the dining room table. I really didn't understand the Holocaust until I got older. We didn't lose anybody in the Holocaust.
Did you go to Hebrew school, or?
I went to Hebrew school. We went to Southeast Hebrew School. Rabbi Bernstein was named Simon Bernstein, and he was an interesting man. And in retrospect, I have to tell you, he made us learn how to read Bo Ba Be by playing baseball and playing outs and eras and all that sort of stuff, and that's how we learned how to read Hebrew.
How often did you go to Hebrew school?
Every day. Every day after school. I think we went 4 to 5 in the afternoon. Got out of school at 3 and then came home and then walked to shul.
How old were you when you started, and how old were you when you stopped going to Hebrew school?
We started Hebrew school probably when I was 6 years old, and we went until I was bar mitzvahed, which was 13.
What was Shabbos like in your home growing up?
What was Shabbos? Wow. My mother got sick, and Shabbos came to an abrupt end. However, my mother's mother moved in with us after my mother had passed away at a terrible age of 48. My Baba came in, and she lived with us, and she prepared Shabbos, and and we always had kosher houses. We never, ever had treif in the house. Had treif in the stores, always had stores, and always kept a kosher house.
How old were you when your mom died?
13 or
Um,
14, 13 or 14.
what was your bar mitzvah like?
My bar mitzvah was held in a hall. The hall was a magnificent building on in Northwest Washington. It was very, very special.
What made it special?
It was, I was the king of the hill. I went to shul and I davened for the ummah.
What did you do at your bar mitzvah?
What did I do? I read Mafter. I read some portions of the, in the beginning.
How often did you go to shul growing up?
After my bar mitzvah, I went to shul with my father. I didn't take any more lessons after my bar mitzvah. It was just, I helped my father in the store and we moved, and my sister ran our household because my mother had passed away, and there we go.
Did you live in a Jewish neighborhood?
No, we lived in a very, how do I describe it? It was half black and it was half white, and we were probably the only Jews in the neighborhood.
Did you have Jewish friends?
Did we have Jewish friends? We had Jewish friends. We had Jewish friends that we picked up from going to Hebrew school.
Did you have any experiences with anti-Semitism growing up in school?
The only anti-Semitism that we faced was when I went to Coolidge High School, which was years later. Even though we were a lot of Jews at Coolidge High School, I was very heavy, and it was difficult. I was heavy, and they didn't like it. The Gentiles didn't like it. The Goyim didn't like it. You walk down the hall, they punched you, you know, like a little zets.
What were some Jewish organizations that you participated in while growing up?
Well, in high school, I belonged to a Upsilon Lambda Phi, and that was a Jewish organization. We went to shul. We went to dances on Sunday and Saturday nights after sundown.
Did you experience any anti-Semitism as a soldier in the American Army?
When I was in the Army, in the Korean War.
So was there any anti-Semitism when you were a soldier in the Army?
No, there was no anti-Semitism. No.
Okay. How about when you were doing business?
That's coming out of the Army and working in my father's store, my brother-in-law's store. I worked for both of them, and there we go. It was no anti-Semitism. We just took care of people, gave them what they wanted. When someone came in the store and they would confront us because we were Jewish, we did not confront anybody. We just took it and just moved on.
Who instilled these Jewish values in you that made Judaism important to you?
Well, our parents taught us that in order to make it in this world, we had to go further and step out and do what we had to do to make it. My father worked in 12 hours a day. He must have worked 20 hours a day. He was just a superhuman being. He just worked and worked and worked.
Has being Jewish ever made your life more difficult?
Being Jewish certainly helped me. It helped us with family. It helped us with my kids and my wife, and I had to marry a Jewish lady. I had to have my kids go to Hebrew school, I had to insist that my children kept kosher houses.
How did that make your life better?
We were very proud to be Jews, just proud to be Jews. And I just have to tell you that it's so important to me that we all stay Jewish.
Is it important to you that America supports Israel?
Oh, it's so important that America supports Israel, absolutely. Absolutely.
What does Israel mean to you?
What does Israel mean to me? It's our homeland. We support it. We help the country. We buy bonds. We support all the things that Israel does, and we just are very happy to be Jews and supporting our homeland.
If Israel is your home country, why do you not live there?
Why don't we live there? Because I'm so steeped in America that my children are here, my grandchildren are here. We have connections. We have a couple homes here. We're just very lucky people.